了，家人们，渡劫了。
At midday on August 25th, Shanghai, one of China's busiest economic hubs, was suddenly thrown into chaos when an extreme weather event struck. What began as an overcast and stifling afternoon quickly turned into a violent storm, combining the most destructive elements of convective weather. Meteorologists had already warned of the potential for intense localized rainfall, with precipitation exceeding 35 millimeters in just 1 hour, accompanied by hail and wind gusts stronger than force 10. But when the storm finally descended, its destructive power far surpassed expectations, making the entire city feel as though it had been hit by a tropical cyclone without warning, right in the heart of the mainland. The most intense moment came when a powerful downdraft swept across the city center. Dense, cold air plunged from towering thunderclouds, striking the ground and spreading outward, unleashing winds so violent they rivaled, and in some cases even exceeded, the strength of coastal typhoons. In the Jingkou area of Pudong, wind speeds reached astonishing levels. Some weather stations recorded gusts beyond force 13 on the Beaufort scale, powerful enough to topple large trees, tear down billboards, and damage buildings across the district. Residents described the experience as if a tropical storm had made direct landfall in the middle of a modern metropolis.
That instantly turned inside out under the strength of the gust.
Accompanying the violent winds was a barrage of hail. Ice stones measuring 1 to 2 centimeters in diameter hammered rooftops and vehicles, denting metal surfaces and shattering fragile materials. Torrential rain poured down in sheets so thick that visibility dropped to nearly zero. Cars were forced to halt in the middle of the road as drivers struggled to see through windshields battered by hail. On the streets, hailstones ricocheted off the pavement, scattering like marbles across the concrete. Pedestrians caught outside scrambled for cover, their umbrellas instantly blown inside out by the force of the gusts. Within minutes, videos captured by residents flooded social media, vividly illustrating the storm's ferocity. Trees bent violently, branches snapped, and entire streets vanished under rushing torrents of rainwater. Many online commenters remarked that the scene resembled the landfall of a tropical cyclone more than a passing thunderstorm. Shanghai was not the only area affected. Neighboring provinces such as Jiangsu and Zhejiang also reported severe thunderstorms, heavy downpours, and hail. Even inland Hubei, far from the coast, experienced similar extreme weather, highlighting how widespread the atmospheric instability had become across eastern and central China.
The experience was both frightening and disruptive, underscoring how quickly normal life can be interrupted by the atmosphere's volatility.
For many cities, life came to a standstill. Transportation ground to a halt. Large trees were ripped from the ground, and power lines collapsed under the sudden onslaught of wind, plunging neighborhoods into blackout. Residents described the experience as both terrifying and shocking, a reminder that everyday life can be completely disrupted by just a few minutes of atmospheric upheaval. Although the worst of the storm over Shanghai lasted only a short time, the damage was undeniable. Streets were littered with broken branches, intersections flooded with fast-moving rainwater, and countless vehicles left dented and scratched by hail. Cleanup crews quickly mobilized, but many residents remained shaken by the intensity of the storm. This event once again underscored the vulnerability of modern cities to the unpredictable forces of nature. Even in a vast metropolis like Shanghai, filled with skyscrapers and fueled by the fast pace of daily life, nature proved it can bring everything to a standstill in the blink of an eye.
Nature doesn't send us warnings, but we can. Floods, earthquakes, wildfires, and storms are striking harder and faster than ever before. By subscribing, you are not just watching, you are joining a movement to stay alert, stay informed, and helps others to do the same. Hit the subscribe now because the next disaster won't wait, and neither should you. Be ready and be aware.
In July 2025, Kerala, a state in southern India, witnessed one of its deadliest natural disasters in years as heavy rainfall triggered devastating landslides. The landslides, which occurred on July 30th, resulted in the tragic loss of over 200 lives in the Wayanad region, making it the worst disaster in the area since 2018, when floods claimed the lives of more than 400 people. The disaster has sparked widespread concern about the impact of climate change on the region, as a recent study by the World Weather Attribution (WWA) Group, published on August 14th, revealed that the monsoon rainfall in Wayanad had increased by 10% due to climate change. According to Pinarayi Vijayan, the Kerala state government minister, the unexpected intensity of the rainfall contributed to the severe damage, explaining that the area had received 572 mm of rain in just 48 hours, far exceeding the forecast of 204 mm. The rainfall was not only heavier than expected, but it also led to the saturation of soil, increasing the likelihood of landslides.
Footage of the landslide is shocking. You can see the sheer force of nature as the hillside gives.
The WWA's research showed that rainfall in Kerala could increase by 4% per day if the world does not shift away from fossil fuels and global temperatures rise by 2 degrees. This increase in rainfall could lead to more frequent and more intense landslides in the future. As the study suggests, the effects of climate change, in particular, increased rainfall, may be contributing to the increased frequency of landslides in this vulnerable region. The WWA also emphasized the importance of taking proactive measures to prevent such disasters in the future. Some of the key recommendations included preventing deforestation and limiting quarrying activities that destabilize the land, strengthening vulnerable slopes and reinforcing them to resist the heavy impact of rainfall, building barriers or retaining walls to protect communities living in landslide-prone areas. In addition to these preventative measures, experts also stressed the importance of adaptation to the changing climate, according to Maya Wahlberg, one of the authors of the study. Aside from mitigation efforts, adaptation is critical. He called for more thorough landslide assessments, early warning systems, and better evacuation protocols to ensure communities are prepared for future events. In addition to the role of climate change, there were other factors that contributed to the landslides. The heavy rainfall in the 2 weeks leading up to the disaster, coupled with the already saturated ground, caused the soil to become soft and unstable, making it more susceptible to landslides. Moreover, uncontrolled tourism and overdevelopment in Kerala's mountainous regions have also been cited as contributors to the increased risk of such events. These human activities, combined with the extreme weather induced by climate change, exacerbate the situation. The region's rapid urbanization and tourism growth have led to the clearing of forests, which once helped to stabilize the land. As Kerala becomes more urbanized, the balance between development and environmental sustainability is becoming harder to maintain. Following the devastating landslides, rescue operations were launched across the affected areas. Hundreds of rescue teams were deployed to search for survivors, recover bodies, and help those in need. However, as the rains continued, conditions remained difficult, and many areas remained inaccessible due to fallen trees, debris, and the unstable terrain. Shelters have been set up for displaced people, and aid has been provided to those who lost everything in the landslides. Authorities are also taking steps to reinforce infrastructure and improve early warning systems to better protect vulnerable communities in the future. However, experts argue that this will not be enough unless climate change is addressed on a global scale and unless local communities and governments are prepared for the future challenges posed by extreme weather events.
More than 19,000 people have been affected by floods in Manipur caused by overflowing rivers and breaches in embankments, officials said on Monday.
Pattern of extreme weather events in India. This year, India has already experienced unprecedented heat waves, intense monsoons, and flooding. Some experts have linked the increased severity of such weather to global warming and climate change. Rising temperatures and changing weather patterns are disrupting traditional weather systems across the subcontinent, putting millions of people at risk.
Trees are uprooted and buildings have been damaged. The roar of the landslide is still echoing in the minds of the locals. It's a sobering reminder.
The intense rainfall that led to the landslides in Kerala is part of a broader pattern of increased monsoon intensity, which has been observed in the region over the past few decades. The Indian subcontinent is particularly vulnerable to climate change, with its high population density, sprawling urban centers, and large agricultural sectors.
Weather conditions has led to this catastrophe. Witnesses describe it as a scene from a nightmare. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated.
As we witness more frequent and severe weather-related disasters, experts are urging governments, international organizations, and individuals to take immediate action to mitigate the impacts of climate change. The situation in Kerala highlights the urgent need for climate adaptation strategies and disaster preparedness. Addressing climate change not only requires reducing emissions, but also adapting infrastructure, protecting vulnerable communities, and creating early warning systems that can save lives when disasters strike.